Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a 24-hour follow-up on the 12-volt controller and the battery. Now, as you see, this is a new battery. It's never been used. It's actually quite large. And I ran this thing all day yesterday with every different kind of locomotive I could test. And it has not dropped off at all. I mean, at all. Anyway, on the rail is a Marx 391, an original Marx 391. This is not a repaint. This is the original Marx Black 391. And steel tilt couplers, 2 cranes, added a searchlight, and a caboose to add some load to this. And this battery still has not dropped off at all, as you see. So that's a good heavy consist for this locomotive, and it's running just absolutely splendidly. And that's nowhere near full power. Running at a good constant speed all the way around the rail. Like I said, this battery has not dropped off at all. At least no discernible amount by running the trains. I haven't checked it with a meter yet. Hey, I may do that to actually find out how much current these things are pulling. But a battery that big is going to run this thing for quite a while. With multiple controllers, I could probably run the entire layout on that battery. But as you see, this is running just absolutely perfectly. Good constant speed all the way around the rail. Added that spotlight to add some load to it. And the battery still hasn't dropped off. So with that much current capacity, like I said, I could probably run these trains for days. Continuously. As you see, that is running just absolutely splendidly on this car battery. And it'll go much faster than this. As you see. I gotta slow it down or it'll derail. I mean, the thing will just zoom around this track. So the controller is working absolutely perfectly. Not a single glitch so far. No problem at all. The battery's working well. Hasn't been recharged. Haven't done anything to it. It's been running non-stop for the last, combined probably 10 hours, something like that. I ran this thing all day yesterday, testing every different kind of locomotive I could. Diesel, steam, smokers, electronic locomotives with electronic E-units. Everything has worked so far. I have not found a single locomotive that will not run on this rail. It works just absolutely splendidly. So for the next hour or so, I'm probably just going to run this one. It runs well. It has a good heavy load on it. That spotlight, I just basically want to see how long this battery is going to last. But I have found no discernible drop-off in this at all. And it's running just absolutely splendidly. So the only way to tell how long this is actually going to run a train is to put a train on there and just let it run. It's hard to say. Now on the DC can motors running off flashlight batteries, it ran for 6 hours. That's off flashlight batteries. Of course, that was a can motor. But look at the size of this battery. This thing is huge. It's got to weigh 22 pounds, something like that. So it has a lot of current. And these locomotives aren't drawing that much. I mean, I can run these on a 1 amp DC power supply, and it runs perfectly. So, like I said, this battery could last for days. I'm sure it's going to last more than hours. I would imagine they'll probably run this thing 24 hours non-stop. And again, the only way to find out is to test it. There's no one to ask. No one's done this before, as far as I know. You know, I've never run a Marx or a Lionel layout on a battery, especially a car battery. And of course, without that controller, you can't. But now that the controller is here, it gives you lots of opportunities to do lots of experiments, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm really, really curious. I wish I had 4 more of these controllers. I could hook this one battery up and run the entire layout. That'd be a great test to see how long a single battery could run all of the trains. But it works. There's no doubt about that. I have not had any glitches of any kind from any locomotive I've tested. All of them run absolutely perfectly. And you can run them much slower. You have a greater control of the speed than you do on AC, that's for sure. You know, and the nice thing about this, of course, is you don't need any power to do this. You can set up a track in the middle of a field and run it on the car battery, and it'll run just absolutely splendidly. So a lot of possibilities for doing off-site displays. Not that I've ever done one, but the thing is, you can, without having to have a generator to power the AC transformers. You know, with these 12-volt controllers, just take a car battery, fully charged, and you are good for at least the day. But I'm betting one train, you could run this thing for days off this car battery. Because I ran it all day yesterday. On and off, of course, but I ran it all day yesterday. And this is not dropped off at all. You know, this is running just absolutely splendidly with lots of power to spare. It's running that headlight, pulling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 litho cars. And these are 3/16 with steel tilt, so they're fairly heavy. As you see, it's running just absolutely perfectly. Constant speed all the way around the rail. So I'm impressed with the results. You know, like I said, I've never seen anyone do this before. So there was no one to ask. The only way to test it was to build it, put it together, and see if it worked. And it surely does. There's no doubt about that. So lots of distinct possibilities that you can do. And of course, the nice thing is you're no longer dependent on AC power at all. So a quick follow-up. I'll be running different locomotives the rest of the day. But so far, it's been 100% success. No problems of any kind with any locomotive that I've tested. It runs them all. And it runs them all equally well. Forward, reverse, the ones that have neutral work, E-units work, no problem at all. So just a quick follow-up. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.